Bird's probably got.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call our meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan. Here. Councilperson Bowman.
Here.
Councilperson Massey.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Alldredge.
Here.
Councilperson Brown. Here. Mayor Bradley.
Here. Invocation, Councilperson Brown.
Let's pray. Lord, we come to you with humble hearts tonight, Lord, and we ask for your forgiveness for our sins, and we just thank you, Lord, for all the blessings that you bestowed upon us, each one of us that are here in our municipality. And Lord, we pray that you be with the family who was involved in the accident in our city on Friday night, Lord, and we pray that their dog be found. We know how important pets are to children, Lord, and if you would just guide somebody to that dog. Sweet, precious Jesus, we thank you for that. Guide and protect us, Lord, and help us to make the decisions tonight that will benefit every member of our city. In your name we pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here we have the approval of the minutes of 12/4/17. Has everyone had a chance to look over the minutes? Do we have any corrections that need to be made? I didn't see.
Motion to approve as.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cowan.
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman.
Yes.
Councilperson Massey.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Alldredge.
Yes.
Councilperson Brown.
Yes.
Mayor Bradley.
Yes. City attorney report, that was the fire department software update.
Mayor, I have completed the review of the agreement with the software company, and they have corrected any changes that I saw that were needed, and it is ready to go.
You made a motion to approve it?
I'm not sure, but I think it was already approved, am I right?
It was already approved, wasn't it? Okay, next we have the police report.
Yes, ma'am. The chief is off sick tonight. He came down with flu, I think. So yes, stepped in for him. I think everybody's got a copy of it. I'm just going to go to the second page. It just shows the 2017 totals for this past year. We had a total of 10,063 calls. We wrote 1,476 citations. Arrested 45 DUIs. Issued 903 warning citations, 172 misdemeanor arrests. We also served 103 misdemeanor warrants, made 15 felony arrests, and served 6 felony warrants. And skipping down, we investigated 147 traffic accidents, filed 141 misdemeanor reports and 45 felony reports, and handled 94 domestic violence. Public assist 518, escorts exacted 2,000, patrol request 4,724, business check 60,100, residential law 155, business law was only 42, which is pretty good. Animal complaints 81, and cost 607. So that's about it.
Does anyone have any questions for Captain Wells?
All right, thank you much.
Do you have something?
I do. I got a couple of things, Mayor, that Chief Downing has asked us to look at. The first one, and I'll just read you this memo from Chief Downing. It's to Mayor Betty Bradley and Police Commissioner Tony Alldredge, dated January 3rd of 2018, in regards to sergeant promotion. And the memo says, I would like to recommend Alan Busser for the position of sergeant. Alan has been with the police department for over 3 years and has demonstrated exceptional organizational proficiency during that time. Alan's ability to plan a strategy and make sure that it's implemented accurately and quickly has contributed to the recent success in our department of selling used military equipment. Alan possesses solid writing skills which have enabled him to compose quality correspondence and reports. His military experience combined with continuing professional development makes him a prime candidate for promotion. He has a positive attitude and represents the city of Argo well in dealings with the public. Please let me know if you need further information. Signed, Chief James Downey. So I would like to make the motion to approve Chief's recommendation promoting Alan Bustler to sergeant.
Second.
Roll call, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cohen?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massey?
I would like to say this does involve a pay raise.
Yes, but it was included in the,
Okay, but
The budget.
yes, I just want public to realize that we realize that and that they realize that.
Mayor Pro Tem Aldridge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Brennan?
yes.
So the second item that the chief has asked me to bring up is also his written memo stated January 8th of 2018. It's addressed to the mayor and council from James Downing, police chief, in regards to part-time consideration. Should any consideration be given tonight or here forward for the Argo fire chief position to be permanently classified as part-time, I hereby request the Argo police chief position be classified in the same manner. Please accept this letter as my request to work in the same capacity as that given to the fire chief. I will gladly remain as the Argo police chief in a full-time capacity should the council decide to maintain all chief positions at a full-time status.
That's just our information.
So we don't need to act on that this time. Okay.
Is there anything else anyone would like to add to that, Tony?
No, I think that's it for now.
Okay, fire report, Chief Platts.
Last month, we gave out 9 burn permits, 26 medical calls. We have 26 medical calls, 7 motor vehicle accidents, 1 tree across the road, and 1 power line on fire. Fairly simple report on that thing. An update on the fire in the bay. It's still ongoing, getting quotes. 2 more came in today. But at this point in time, we've already spent $5,652.74 in replacing items that need to be replaced due to smoke damage, such as mattresses, the trash can, the cord reel that got burned up, the radio, several things like that.
Washer and dryer.
The washer and dryer, correct. There's still more to be replaced. Working hand in hand with the adjuster. Supposed to have a meeting with the adjuster Wednesday. To try to get us, go ahead and start getting some of the money to get us reimbursed for some of that money, as well as go through some of the bids and things like that. You may have any questions on that?
You didn't say four-wheeler, did you?
I'm sorry?
Did you say four-wheeler?
No, I said cord reel.
Oh,
Electric
cord
cord.
reel.
Cord reel,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, that pull-down tree.
I thought that's what I said to start with.
It was cool out laying across that area when it got the fire burning.
I would like to add too that the things that he's talking about that they have already purchased has been okayed by the adjuster
Correct.
to do that.
Chief, is that the rotten wall? I think we touched on that last time, but is that just basically from water damage, previous water damage, or?
Well, that's where the hose pipe is, where we do all the truck wash and everything, it stays wet in that area. The building, the way it was built was not built properly for that type of application. The metal, such as the metal studs were put flat on the concrete, so they're sitting in water all the time. And the plywood was set all the way up the floor instead of leaving a gap in there.
Yeah.
We started tearing out some of the walls and took at it, and the beams were really rusted. That little bunch was just gone off the bottom of the beams. The more we tore out, the more we found damage. So we wound up going back about 20-something feet back on the wall before we started getting good material. Since then, we put it's made out of recycled plastic board on the bottom, They put the metal on top of that with a silicone sealer, so the water don't sit in water. Metal suspended out of the water, and the plywood is put on the wall, suspended up off the floor, so it don't sit there and wick water, for months on end. And also, we use treated plywood. It costs a little bit more to do that, but in that application, that's what we really use.
Since they're gonna come out and paint, I told him to go ahead and do that because I was afraid that if we went back with just the plain plywood and didn't put any kind of protection down at the bottom where that water was running, that we would have, for another 2 years, we'd probably have to go in and tear it back out again, so.
And this is stuff we got to pay for.
Yes, this is,
It has nothing to do with the fire
this has
damage.
anything to do with fire.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we hadn't seen any of those termites.
And I did go back there and look at it, he showed me that, and all that wood on the bottom down there was all rotted out, so
Yeah.
before they come and paint it, I wanted them to go ahead and fix it.
The only other thing I have is the contract there he signed as far as for the software, computer software, so we should be able to go as far as that goes.
And Scott, did you want to touch on that and just let them know that you have looked over it?
That's correct. Everything's in order and it's ready for the mayor's signature, and there you go.
We just need to get the check cut, get that to them ASAP so we can get started, get that process started. It'll probably take us a month and a half to be 100% using the program, so everybody's got to be trained on it. I'm not even sure how I run myself, to be honest with you. I have to train on myself.
I think the attorneys said we don't need to make a motion, everything's under agreed on.
It's already
We
been,
just got to sign the check.
That's correct. It's already been voted on.
we were just waiting for him to clear the contract and y'all you straightened all that out, so we're ready to go. Any other questions for Chief Platt? Thank you, Chief Platt. Road report, Ronnie, Bowman, Corky, Massey, y'all have anything to report?
I got a complaint, we got a complaint on the striping on Lyle's Lane or Argo Parkway, whichever you want to call it. But it's, we're still in disagreement about whether that's even our road or not. And, I don't see us striping it this time.
Only thing I know about is when this thing get there on out riding around, like Cedar Creek, Masters, Breeze Mountain, all that up there, I rode around up there, got a lot of potholes up there.
And we fixed it,
He
we deal with that.
Yeah,
he has not, he has been out, he took his 2-week vacation,
okay.
and then he was sick a couple of days too, so that's the reason he has not been able to go out and do it.
I just know we got one that's about.
Yeah,
I went over there yesterday, so I know what you're talking about.
Another thing is I talked to Dan Doherty after the last meeting, and he says it'll be about May before they get started if we approve the contract tonight, and that we can take some off of that contract if we want to, and that addressing the potholes he brought up, if they get a couple of decent days, in the meantime, that they probably will come on and do some of the patching to start with.
Okay.
So that'll kind of take care of that without us spending money on culverts.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what he told me, because I saw him at one of the meetings, the swearing-in of Ken Crow, and that's what he told me. He told me the exact same thing that, I'm sorry.
If Tony don't need any more, I will use it.
Okay.
It's a lot of work being we're passing back and forth up here.
Okay, did y'all have anything else to add to that?
Now we'll get to the contract thing in a minute.
Okay, the St. Clair County Road contract, Dan Doherty, the county's engineer sent me that contract, so I just need to get y'all, somebody to make a motion to give me the approval to go ahead and sign that paperwork.
I'll make the motion to approve it on the condition that everybody knows we can eliminate some of them when we get closer to the time for the work to be. And he said it would be agreeable to them, even if they had done some of the patchwork and then we decide to eliminate one street, then we'll just pay for the patchwork. You know, if we decide to eliminate one they've already patched, then that would be all right. So I make a motion to,
Have we not already approved this?
We do, y'all just approve the contract, we already approved the roads to be paid.
so what are we doing now?
Approving for me to sign, for y'all to give me permission to sign the
I
contract.
make a motion to approve her signing the contract.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Owen,
Abstain.
Councilperson Bowman,
Yes.
Councilperson Massey,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Alldredge,
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Abstain.
Can I ask a question? Why do we abstain?
I abstain because y'all were giving me the permission to sign that, and I shouldn't be.
And I abstained because I wasn't here and I don't know what
Okay.
happened.
You both got good excuses then. I didn't.
And the abstention is
There you go.
not legally necessary, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, but it made me think.
Okay, food bank report, Jolene,
Nothing to report.
nothing to report. Team council, Ms. M. Owens, she's not here. Okay, to make the fire chief, as everyone's aware that the 6 months trial period is over. So we have to decide if we're going to keep our fire chief on as permanently part-time, or if we're going to go back to full-time. So that is our dilemma, because at the end of the month, it runs out. The 24th, is that what you, the 24th, Casey? 24th.
I'm gonna, Tony's the only one I've talked to about this, about asking for to table it till the next meeting. I've talked to the chief, and we got something that I think we can work everything out. But he.
When is our next meeting, Casey?
22nd. I don't have a calendar every time, I'm sorry.
22nd.
22nd.
Okay. He says he will consider coming back full-time, but he needs time to talk to the chief at Homewood and the chief at Pale City, and to make up his mind. I just proposed this to him Friday, so he needs a little bit of time to deal with it.
Well, I just talked with the chief on Friday, and he told me right the opposite.
Well, I talked to him after that. I guess it was after that. It was late in the afternoon. He went out there and flagged traffic at the wreck after he got through with me. So it was late.
Okay, so it's going to be,
He told me he would consider it. I told him I would see if we could buy a couple of weeks. I mean, it's not gonna make that big a difference if for no other reason to be fair about it, and for us not to be here for 3 hours tonight arguing on it.
it's up to
And
this
we might
council.
can work it out, you know, to suit both parties. You haven't got anything against the chief, it's the only fair thing to do.
Corky, you said that several different times in these meetings and everything. I
Okay,
thought
well, we
that-
will stay here all night. I'm gonna make my discussion here right now. When we got sworn into office, Betty Bradley told us all that she didn't know if she could work with the fire chief. That was her words. She said it to all of us repeatedly. When she got sworn into office, it was her job, it was her right to let the fire chief go. She didn't have to have any excuse to do it, but she didn't want to do it because it wasn't going to be popular. So she asked for 6 months.
You do not know what
Yes,
I'm thinking.
I'm going by what you told me.
I told you that I did not know, but I was going to give everybody, I didn't know who I could work
You
with.
told me, Mike Platts, that you didn't know, and you told others here too, the same thing.
I said I did not know who I would be able to work with, but I was not
And
going.
Calvin, what did she tell you?
Well, she did say that she didn't know if she'd be.
So I heard her tell the lawyer that.
I sure did.
I told you that.
I sure did. I said I didn't know who I was going to be able to work with.
What she told all of us that I remember is that she was gonna give everybody an opportunity.
But she named the fire chief, and she
No,
wanted to share you
I
everybody
did
the
not.
same.
I named
because she didn't want
everybody,
to
everybody.
Say this point, that fire chief, that was her.
I think you misunderstood.
No,
what
I
you
did not
said.
misunderstand. There's no way, because you said it repeatedly. And then after that, she wanted to make it an interim thing, so she didn't have to make a decision. Was that not the truth?
I think we all voted on doing that.
I know, but it was at your request because you wanted time. You won't give me 2 weeks right now, but we gave you time to decide whether you could work it out with the chief or not. That was your words to me.
We're not talking about any one certain person, Corky.
We
We're
are talking about
a
one
department.
person.
We're
There's no-
talking about a department.
There's no denying it. There's no denying that we're talking about one person. You named him first. You made it about one person.
No, I have not made it
Repeatedly.
about one
And
person.
every time, there's some way, I'm getting back to my timeline now. We gave her the interim thing so she could have time to do it. And then in the next thing that comes up, she finds out he's been working part-time, so that's not acceptable anymore. So she wants us to make a motion that he can't have a part-time job anywhere. And he didn't quit, and she didn't like it. Well, things go on, and he knows he's about to lose his job, or he's afraid he's about to lose his job. And so he goes looking for another job somewhere. He takes another job somewhere else, and so now he can't have he knows he can't have them both when he does it. He agrees to quit the other job. He's done this, and she keeps giving him more hoops to jump through.
What hoops have I given him to jump through?
You said he couldn't work part-time, and that's what he does with his, all the time is his business.
This council voted to let him have 6 months trial. I have given Chief Platts 6 months, and I thought it, and we have talked, we have not
Well, let
had
me
any
ask you
word.
this, we've tried it, and just as a straw poll, do you think he's done okay in the 6 months?
I do.
All right, Ronnie, you think okay?
Yeah.
I think okay, you think okay?
I have no clue, but I haven't
Okay, well, that's-
seen anything to change.
Can you vote to change if you don't know?
I haven't been up here, I work a full-time job, I'm not here.
Okay, so we're not prepared to make a judgment because 2 of them don't know yet.
I know,
No, I
I'm
know
telling you,
that
I'm.
Corky, you can't speak for everyone up here. You can
I'm
only speak
asking,
for
I'm not
yourself.
speaking for them, I'm asking right here in public, asking every one of them.
Well, Corky, I do know how I can vote. I had the same opinion.
Well, you just got through saying you didn't know.
No, sir, what I said was, that I have to go up here to see what's going on day to day. But this, in my opinion, this city needs a full-time fire chief. That's all we're voting on. We're not voting on a person. That job is here after every one of us is gone. Period.
But, and that's another thing, the mayor has told us, she told us while she was campaigning, that she's going, if she won, she would serve 1 term and she would be gone. And she brought that up to me again after the last meeting. She said, when this term's over, she's going to move to Springville in a town home, in a garden home. She's told all of us that. Am I right?
Now, let me ask you a question, Corky.
Is she not right? Am I not right?
Let me ask you a question. People have been known to change their mind about several different things. You can't speak for me whether I'm going to be
Well,
running
you,
or
as
what.
late, the
You
last
don't
time
know
I laid
that
eyes
I'm
on
running
you,
or not.
the last time I laid eyes on you, you told me that when you're.
We're not talking about me, we're talking
Well, we are
about
talking
his
about
position.
you.
We're
What I'm
talking
saying
about
is,
his
that she's gonna
Corky, you're out of order.
I've got a right to speak.
You have, but
And
you're
I
out of order.
had the
You're
floor and you
bringing up
cut me off.
Okay, you say what you've got to say.
Okay, well, that's what I was trying to do.
Okay, well, quit pointing fingers at people
What's
and
fair is fair.
rearranging stuff.
What's right for our town is right for our town. And I've told you, I'm trying, if you'll just give me 2 weeks for him to talk to somebody, and us to all work this thing out. We ain't had time. I just thought of it Friday. I tried to call you on the phone to ask you about it. All I'm asking for is 2 weeks for us all to ponder it, and for him to find out if that's even viable for him. If not, we'll make it full-time and he can go somewhere else.
So do we have a motion to make the chief permanently part-time?
That's not my motion. My motion was to table it till the next meeting. That's still on the floor right now.
So what is council's wishes?
He's made motions, got to be said.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilperson Cowell?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Alldredge?
No,
Councilperson Brown?
No.
Mayor Redland?
No.
So we're not gonna be fair because it's a tie vote.
So now we're going to have the motion to keep a chief either permanently part-time. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to make the job of the fire chief permanent full-time position.
Good job.
Excuse me.
Was that not the,
Well,
that's not the way,
What happens is, what the mayor was saying on the 24th, the 6-month period.
This is the smoke screen again. They got to make the motion in the
Why
right
don't you let him
way
talk first?
for it to come, for it to
Excuse me,
pass.
the attorney's talking right now. Corky.
And this is only what the minutes say. This is not a legal opinion. So if we can produce the minutes, then
I have
that's.
But he's telling her she's making the motion wrong for it to
There's the minutes.
to,
And I'll give the minutes.
I know what you're saying.
And I'll just stop.
Okay, and.
Go ahead, let her make the motion the way she made it.
I make a motion that the fire chief's position is permanently part-time.
Now she's reversed it.
Wait, Corky, you confused everybody.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
No, don't tell Tony to help you. Do this on your own. You're the ones out there doing it.
Request his position be reclassified as full-time, part-time special.
Like I said, they're not ready to vote on it.
My motion is that the city not have a part-time position for the fire chief.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Jones?
No.
Councilperson Bowman?
No.
Councilperson Massey?
No.
Mayor Person Alldredge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Bradley?
Yes. So it's a split vote, so what happens now?
It reverts back to how it originally was.
Yeah, the original, however it was originally before.
So we've got a full-time chief now, what we got to say.
And then whenever that 6 month, and I don't know exactly when, it may be the 24th as the clerk was saying, but based on the original 6 month motion, at the end of that 6 month period, it reverts back
To full time.
to the way it.
And in the meantime, you need to, I ain't trying to tell everybody what to do, but I feel like we need to check how we've gone through this and make sure it's legal and we've covered our tails against lawsuits and such. Oh, there's federal guidelines on how you do this, and this wasn't the way to do it.
Okay, storm shelter, the agreement resolution, I'm gonna let, Attorney Barnett, he drew this up, so I'm gonna let him handle it.
The council, this, as you remember, last time your FEMA grant writer, I'll call him your consultant, if you will, created, or asked, told you that you were approved for the FEMA grant for the shelter. And he proposed through an email a couple of different resolutions, which I basically combined into one. And this is the result of, and it's basically general approval for receiving the grant and for allowing the mayor and others to sign the necessary documents and approvals along the way. Whereas the city previously applied for a hazard mitigation grant for a safe road to be constructed on city property in close proximity to City Hall. And whereas FEMA and Alabama Emergency Management Agency ultimately approved the grant as applied, and the requisite approvals need to be provided by the city council to allow the mayor the necessary authority for signatures on behalf of the city council regarding agreements for various professional services and related bid and construction documents. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Argo that, of course, those recitals are true and correct. The city council hereby accepts the subject award of hazard mitigation grant funds to fund the costs associated with the ultimate construction and completion of a safe room for the city of Argo, to include the necessary funding of the city's required grant match portion of the project. The mayor shall be the city point of contact for the administration of the project. Subject to legal review, the mayor shall have the authority to ultimately approve agreements generally dealing with the grant award, project design, and engineering related to the project. The mayor and staff shall have the full authority to do those things, perform those functions, and make such decisions, and to sign necessary documentation in order to carry out and fully complete the actions so authorized.
Motion approved. As written.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Jones?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Alldredge,
Yes.
Councilperson Brown,
Yes.
Mayor Bradley.
I'm going to abstain. Next is the signal control from the state. Councilperson Alldredge.
So I've been trying to get a controller from the state, DOT, and we finally received that last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, somewhere in there from the state. They brought it out to us. So this afternoon, I think it was installed, it was reprogrammed, so by in the morning, we should have a new signal out there timed. And Captain, I told Chief this, but I'm gonna tell you, because he may be out sick, but what they asked us to do was to not take control of that signal unless it was necessary. Because what they're gonna do is they're gonna look at it with the adjusted timing that he's got to put in there. And then if he needs to make any more adjustments, he'll do it from there. But now, by all means, if you get out there and you need to do it, but only if necessary.
But we do need to have somebody out there in the morning when it does start working, so,
Yes.
you know, if you have to flag traffic, don't mess with it with flag traffic.
From my understanding, he's going to be there in the morning too, to kind of look over it, make sure that everything's going all right.
We need somebody to flag traffic.
Yep, we'll take care of it.
Now, for everyone's information, I don't have an answer for you on this, but I got an email this afternoon that said that signal controller they pulled out was shipped back to Stone & Sons. Do you know anything about, when they installed that, they did the software installation or hardware installation that allowed the manual button? Did they put a controller in there?
I think they did.
But was it not ours by them?
I don't know. I
When
don't
they put
know
the
what
manual
they did
stuff
with
in
the
there?
controllers.
Well, there's-
I've seen what you were saying about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a note on the top of it that said loaner, and so it went.
I wasn't
back to
aware that we were
Stone &
loaned anything.
But the loaner is the one that was bad,
The loaner is the one that was bad.
so where's ours?
That was ours, or what we thought was ours.
That's what I'm saying, they may have ours already, may have already had ours, and we've got a loaner, didn't know it.
That could be the case. I don't know what happened to it, but the state has provided us one now. If we need to pursue talking to them about that
We
control.
need to get our
Yeah.
loaner, or our original one back.
I'll call Brody and find out.
Yeah, see if you can find out, because I don't know, and,
Okay.
Skipper's
I'll
got
call
it
Brody,
now.
that's who I dealt with.
If the state gave us this one, we still own one somewhere too.
I'll find
We
out
need
what's
to at
going
least
on.
have it for standby, if nothing else.
so the second part of that was, is that we approved money to install that camera detection system. And so are we now ready to go ahead and let them go on approval of that camera detection system?
I
That
thought
was
we'd
part of that
already
first
approved it, but we were gonna hold up till we got that part done.
Right.
Right, not yet. It's already been approved, because we agreed to do everything except the private drive over there that was on that first list, on the first phase of it. So now, when we were waiting on that controller, and so now that that's been done, then we probably need to go ahead and proceed with the camera.
The only question that I had, and I did not have the original, when they did the traffic report, they gave us an estimate in there on what they thought that would cost.
About 8,000.
And then we got an actual, price from Stone & Sons,
It was gonna be more, I think.
and it was
It was more than what they quoted.
$9,142.82.
And that was counting the loaner, what they've done was,
No, that was just for the camera detection system. The loaner was $800-something plus whatever it cost to fix it. So what I cannot remember is if we took that up to go from that $8,000 and whatever dollars that we originally approved up to the $9,142.82.
so what you're saying is we need to approve the 9,100 or whatever.
If we have not. Yes,
Let's
we
just
need.
go ahead and make a motion to do overkill to make it. Is that right?
Do we want to do that, or would we like to revisit with these guys and make sure that that price hasn't gone up?
Well, then, surely not.
Could you give us an
If it
estimate?
has, we'll let our action tonight won't be any good.
Could you get with them and then give us a report on the next council meeting?
Do we do that, or can we go ahead?
I'd like to get the ball
Go
rolling.
ahead and get it rolling and go up to.
That'd be fine too, because they were sort of.
Approval amount up to 10,000.
Make the motion, you say you want up to 10,000?
That's, I just pulled that out.
Up to $10,000. And make a motion to.
Is that your motion,
go ahead with
Tom?
that.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion. I would like to make the motion to increase the funding allowance for the video detection for the signal at Highway 11 and Argo Margaret from $8,000 and whatever, fill in the blank, Casey, to up to $10,000.
Second.
And accept Stone and Sons.
Any discussion?
I got a question. Are we gonna get any of this money back from county or state? Because that is not our two roads. Remember, we talked about the state doing some work and the county doing some stuff there.
We've included them in the meetings, but so far, nobody's
But you know,
offered.
they told us to kind
Do
of
all the
hold off
little-
on that, and us pay for this little bit, and then they're gonna help us with the big pie.
Right.
They said the first phase of it was all small stuff, and that they thought that maybe we should be paying for all the small stuff, and then they would.
Based upon what I know, I doubt that we can get this particular money back.
Yeah, I think the idea was that if we did everything that we could do standalone as a city and spent the money that we could spend, then when we got to the bigger stuff that we talked about last time, that would be a better
Getting on nickel and diamond.
use of, asking for favors, asking for help.
Second motion, if I didn't already.
Okay, any more further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cohen?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Alldredge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Breton?
Yes. Next on the agenda is the municipal workers' compensation invoice. If y'all got that, you'll notice that our premiums, our standard premium was $34,160. We got a discount of $8,210. The renewal dividend was $5,162. And the amount due is $20,788. So that's down a little bit from what it was last year. But at the end of the year, when we have our audit, it could go back up again. So I would like to ask to go ahead and approve having this, a motion to go ahead and have this paid.
I'll make the motion.
Do you have a question? Okay.
The remainder of that, of money that we budgeted, when we were audited in this, they came back with a follow-up bill. That the remainder of that, those funds are going to stay in that account in case that happens to us again.
Right, right. Okay, we had a motion, we hear a second.
Second.
You did make the motion, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, second, okay. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilperson Cohen?
Yes.
Councilperson Bowman?
Yes.
Councilperson Massey?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Alldredge?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Mayor Breton?
Yes. Okay, number 17 is the mayor's report on Katy Lane. I would like for us to go ahead and try to get those estimates, and so that if in the spring, that once we hear from FEMA on that we will at least have some estimates to go by, so we can go ahead and try to get something done on that, because if it continues to go like it's going, and we have any severe weather and that washes out, it's probably going to take everybody's driveway out down below them too. So I would like for us to go ahead and try to at least get some estimates
We've got
together.
three.
We got three, yeah, we need to put me and Corky and Ronnie need to put our heads together, because Ronnie got,
Estimates are gonna be good over 60 days.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
but we need to define what.
right. Didn't you, that's the reason I said you
We
exit.
want a lot more closely spell it out, so that,
absolutely.
because everybody,
Okay, so why don't you three get together and try to come up with some kind of guideline for the estimators to go by, so that they could go ahead and turn in a new estimate on it? And let's try to be ready for spring to try to be able to at least have it, so if we can try to get something done.
Yeah, I think we had three bids, and, one of them I felt was, the other two were,
the other
I
one
think
was
that's a
low,
result of,
the good one was so low, we're afraid it's wrong.
yeah, I think that's a result of them not understanding or being afraid of what scope of work is.
And if the other two are right, we can't afford it.
Okay, I just wanted to mention that, so we don't have to dwell on it, if y'all would just get together and try to get that, get some estimates together. Another thing is to report that the workers' compensation claim with one of our former officers, Officer Moses, has been settled, and he sent a letter an email to the city and asking us to give him some kind of a certificate saying that he retired from our city, and I sent this to Attorney Barnett, and I'm going to let him kind of talk about what he thinks the city should do on that. He's really not retiring from us.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the city acknowledging he has a, honorable service and so forth, but I think he wants something more than that. There's a law that allows an officer, a retired officer, to carry a weapon. And so I think, and you get that from the county, I don't think he's asking the right entity, even though there's nothing wrong with the mayor writing a letter acknowledging that he served honorably in the situation at hand, but I don't think the city can give him what he's requesting.
Okay.
So we need to take no action?
That's my opinion.
Okay, any council comments tonight?
Yes, I would like to thank everybody who gave their time over the last couple of, there was a weekend, then the holidays, and then this last weekend. Thank everybody who gave their time to help sort books at the Asheville Library, and the bookcases that we have out in the hallway will be filled as soon as we can get everything processed and get that done. And I'd like to thank Corky for the donation of one of his storage spaces.
And I want everybody to know she's welcome.
It's full. So we have plenty of books, and we still have books. And after the library board, St. Clair County has a meeting, I may have more good news to report, but I won't know until after their meeting. But I just want to thank everybody that gave so much of their time. We worked Friday night, all day Saturday, and all day yesterday, getting bookcases and going through things and everything. So we're excited to have what we've got, and we're excited to get everything alphabetized and cataloged and on the shelves for our citizens to come and make their selections.
Any other comments?
Mayor, I'd just like for the attorney to clarify, since it was a tie vote, you have a fire chief, and a part-time chief, a full-time chief, how's that deal working out?
The original, I think what was voted on was actually not necessary. The original motion from a while back was that the position go for a temporary basis for 6 months, and that expires on a date certain. I don't know the date right off the top of my head. I think Casey Bibb said the 24th. In that event, I think that was going to happen anyway. And so the motion basically, the action of the city council basically expires then, and then it goes back to the way it's been for several years. Well, the motion that was made tonight was basically, it was just, and that's what I was trying to explain before the motion, is that it was really unnecessary unless you want to continue what you had previously done. Now that, if you had voted to continue what you had previously done, then it would have continued. I don't think that the motion the style of the motion that was made tonight, or the subject of this motion that was made tonight, has any effect or any bearing on the situation, because basically the status quo is going to come back automatically, I guess, on the 24th. And the way that would be changed is if the city council voted the same way it did before.
And that's the reason I put it on the agenda as permanently part-time, because that y'all needed to make a decision if we were going to have a full-time chief or a part-time chief. And if y'all if it had been voted on to keep the position permanently part-time, then we would not want to revert it back.
Okay, so Mike has got time to decide if he's gonna stay if he's gonna go full-time.
I think Casey said the 24th is when the 6 month actually
Yeah, I'll
starts.
double check the date.
I think she said the 24th.
Yeah.
That's the reason I put it on the agenda as permanently part-time.
Okay, but now, is that gonna leave that in Mike's hands or the mayor's hands? I mean,
Well,
if he just decides to stay full-time, I mean,
He has
or
the
is that
right
up to the
to.
mayor? I mean, how does that work exactly? I mean, that's
Well,
what I would.
Well, right now, my class is the chief. I mean, that's, and that has not been changed. And until that's changed, either he's dismissed from that position or voluntarily or.
He will have to submit another application since he asked to
No,
be. Yes, he will, because he asked to be classified as, his position to be classified
it's
as
just like our
part-time,
lawyer just
as
said,
part-time.
he's our fire chief, and it don't matter how we change the job description, he's still the fire chief, but if he can't adhere to it, he has to resign. If he can adhere to it, he's still the chief.
Yeah, technically, he hasn't been dismissed from the position. And if he can continue in the position as, whether it's part-time or full-time, unless he's terminated, then he would continue in the position.
Who has the right to terminate him?
It's my understanding that the mayor in the past has acted on that. And this, I believe that's what the people with the knowledge historically, what has happened, I believe I've heard it from the council on occasion, that the mayor has in the past normally had that authority. And I'm going based upon that. And so,
So it's between them that he resigns, or if she don't want him to stay, she has to let him go.
right, if the chief can't serve in a part-time capacity, obviously, that's, he's going to have to make that decision.
That's after the 24th, correct?
That's my understanding is the date.
So that's what we were asking for to start with, we got it like that in now.
Does that answer your question?
Okay, any public comments?
I'm not through.
Okay, cool.
I want to apologize to everybody for my conduct. The best of Argo is what I'm interested in, the best for Argo, and everybody else up here too, but we all see it differently, and that's why we're so passionate about it. We love our town, and I'm hoping we can all get past this, but I still want to do what's best for the town, and I know everybody else does too.
Any further comments from the council? Did anyone, any public comments? Anyone sign the book?
Anyone up there?
Motion to adjourn?
I'm going to my birthday party now.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
You are?